Hi, I'm Lowell Martin, and this is MCC Today, your place for all things academia and origami. On today's show, we have Miss Sheila Johnson, Miss Valerie Bishop, and Miss Shannon Coleman. It's going to be a great show. Stay tuned.
Become essential at Meridian Community College. Our community is changing, and at MCC, we are built for those who want to serve. Being essential has kept our community going. You can become that here, all at an affordable cost. Whether you dream of helping people through healthcare services or want to transport goods, connecting people with the products they need, we have many unique opportunities to help you find your purpose. Don't wait for change. Be the difference and register today. Become essential at Meridian Community College.
And we have Miss Shannon Coleman here today, who is the WIOA case manager. Welcome back to the show.
Thank you.
You doing well today?
Doing well.
Okay.
It's a little cool this morning.
It is, and overcast, and just lots of stuff. But what's going on? What's going on in your area?
We are entering our enrollment period for WIOA for our spring term. So the enrollment always comes before the semester. So Monday, November 2nd, we'll open our spring enrollment. That will run through Monday, November 16th. And so we're just trying to get the word out to all of our students who are in those approved programs to be getting your packet, get it filled out, and get it turned in before that deadline.
So what exactly is the WIOA?
WIOA is a workforce grant. It is available to those programs that are in high demand. Those are listed on the Mississippi ETPL, as we call it. And I can give you that website if you're wondering if your program is covered. If you're enrolled here, your instructors know if your program is covered and should be announcing this information hopefully in their class. But you can go to mdes.gov. And that, mdes.ms.gov. And that will take you to the website for the state. You can click on Customer Public, and then that will take you to the ETPL. You can select Meridian Community College as the provider, and then that will show you the list of the 20 some odd programs that are available for that grant. Okay,
now when you say something that is covered, what exactly does that mean?
The programs that are chosen as approved programs, the grant can cover your tuition, your books, and some of your fees if you are awarded that grant.
So a student can, if they can go through this program and register for this program hopefully, and then if it is an approved program, then their tuition, their grant, their books, all of this is covered for the length of the program.
Well, it's a certain amount.
In
the state of Mississippi, you can be awarded up to the maximum of $6,000. And so usually that will help cover a couple of semesters, or if you have other scholarship and other grant funding, it can help carry you through a lot of times throughout your 3 or 4 semesters. But it just depends on what program you're in, how long it is, as to how long that $6,000 may carry out.
Well, what are the criteria for registering for this program, and what do you need to, you say they have their packets, what do they need to what kind of information do they need to provide?
Okay, first of all, to qualify, you have to be 18 years old or older. If you're a resident of Mississippi, you have to apply in Mississippi. If you're a resident of Alabama, you have to apply in Alabama. It is a federal program, but it is managed through the states. And so Alabama students is going to be a little bit different than the Mississippi requirements. You must be in an approved program, which is on that list that I just mentioned. You
must already be in the program?
Right. You have to have completed 12 semester hours as one of the requirements. So most of the time you have to complete that first semester in your program before you can qualify. Now some of our programs, like our medical programs like nursing, that have a lot of prerequisites that are required, you can count those 12 semester hours as your prerequisites to help qualify you for that. And so that is one of the requirements, is the 12 semester hours. If you are a male student, you must be registered with Selective Service to receive any kind of federal funding. So that is a requirement for male students. Now, As far as the packets go, you're going to pick up your packet either from me or your local Win Job Center. Those you will fill out a lot of paperwork basically. You're going to also have some financial aid verification forms in there, so you have to take that to financial aid to verify if you're getting other scholarships and things like that. And then you'll need your spring schedule, so it's important to go see your advisor and get your spring schedule designed before you turn in your packet. And you'll need things like your IDs, and if you're working, you'll need a check stub. This is open to any adult. There's funding that's set aside for those people who have been displaced or who are unemployed right now. There's priority factors for those people because this is a workforce grant to get you re-skilled and get you back into the workforce. So those are priority factors. But if you're not displaced or not unemployed, it doesn't keep you from applying because there's also adult funding for those who need the financial assistance of this grant.
Do they have to reapply each semester?
Once you are awarded the grant, you do not have to reapply.
Okay.
You will get your amount awarded and it will carry you through your training as long as it lasts. If you were maybe turned down or you didn't receive it last semester, you're certainly welcome to reapply until you graduate. So I tell people apply again.
Couldn't hurt.
Keep applying until you graduate. So hopefully if you didn't get picked up after your first semester, you might after your second semester, and it certainly can be a big help to carry you through.
Definitely. Now, do we have a good number of students who take advantage of this? I would hope so.
We do. We had a number in the fall that took advantage of it, and because of the situation that we're in with COVID and the federal money that's being dumped into these reskill situations, almost all of those who applied, who met all of the qualifications, were awarded some money. So I encourage everyone to apply for the spring. I don't know what money's going to be there. We won't know. A lot of this is ending, December 31st, but I feel like with the COVID still going on that a lot of things will continue or be carried over. So hopefully there will be plenty of funds there so those who apply can have some help.
Well, now, you had said that it's a federal program, but it's administered by the states, and that if you're a Mississippi resident, you have to apply here in Mississippi. If you're an Alabama resident, so if you're an Alabama resident, can they apply and still use that money to go here? Is that how it would work? Or?
Yes.
Okay.
So any of our students who are here, if you live in Alabama but you're driving over here, you would need to apply at your Alabama Career Center.
Okay.
They are facing that out-of-state tuition, and so there will be more help in Alabama. The funds will be more because they take into account that out-of-state tuition, and so they may be awarded a little more than the $6,000 to help cover some of that. Alabama has different rules than Mississippi. In Mississippi, there is a rule where you can only be awarded up to the $6,000 maximum.
Okay. And then once as you said, once they're in the program, it will carry through. Will they have to, so each semester, do they have to turn in a new schedule to you? Just make sure that there are some things that they're doing each semester to keep that money coming in?
Yes, they will go through, those students who are selected will go through orientation where we will explain their responsibilities with the grant, and one of those responsibilities is that they turn in their grades at the end of every semester.
Do they have to maintain a certain GPA?
Yes, you have to have a 2.0 and maintain that 2.0.
That's a C average, right?
Right.
Okay.
Which most of our programs, you have to have that to keep going anyway. But they will have to turn in that schedule each semester to show us that they are continuing and haven't dropped and things like that.
Okay, excellent. Now you said the enrollment period begins November 2nd and runs through the 15th. 16th, pardon me, and runs through the 16th. And so to get the packet, they can go to the Win Job Center or come and see you. Am I correct in that?
Yes, we're not open to the public right now at the Win Centers, and that's across the state. So you would need to call to get your instructions if you're wanting to pick it up there. You can email me the request, and I can email you a packet if you have a way to print it. I am going to be on campus Monday and Tuesday. Still working out the definite times, but I will make sure the instructors of those programs know where I'm going to be and when I'm going to be here. So that we can try to help by being on campus to hand them out as well.
Excellent.
Let me give you my email address.
Please.
If you would like a package, you can email your request to me at scolem11@meridiancc.edu. Also, my phone number, if you have questions, you can call me at 601 553-9531.
Okay. Now this enrollment period, they must return the packets within this time period, this time frame.
Correct.
Right? So that they can get the packet and they have until the 16th to fill it out and return it to you.
Yes, and this is specific for the Twin Districts area. If you do not apply within this 2-week period, you can't apply.
Okay.
And so it's very important, and that's most of the counties in our area. Those who may live in a county outside of Twin Districts, the rules may vary just a little bit, but for the most part, they need it ahead of time, so you're not going to hurt anything by going ahead and adhering to these dates.
Okay. Listen, thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you for having me.
We'll be right back.
Are you searching for something new? Then Meridian Community College is the place for you. With over 52 career and technical pathways, you can move straight into the workforce in 2 years or less. Get hands-on experience in welding and electrical technology, or go digital in graphic design and media production. You'll discover many opportunities for a new career at a fraction of the cost. Reskill now. Become essential at Meridian Community College. Register today at meridiancc.edu.
And we have the wonderful Miss Sheila Johnson today. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
You know, we're here. We're here and we're happy about
Yes.
it. Now, you are the Medical Lab Technology Program Coordinator
Yes.
and Instructor.
Yes.
A lot on your plate. And in
Well,
fact,
yeah.
to get you over here, you had to have someone
Proctor
substitute
my
for
test.
you. Substitute for you for a test.
I
But I'm
did.
so glad you're here today.
Thank you.
How many students do you have right now?
We have 2 groups always going.
Right.
So we currently have 9 second-year students. So that means that they are getting ready to progress to clinicals next semester. And that's about the average size for our group. Our first-year group is a little bit smaller than we normally have this time of year. We take in 15 every August. We had 15 going in, but we're down to 10. And it's just been one of those semesters where everything has just kind of snowballed, and
Sure.
it's, you know, students having difficulties with financial aid, with travel, with all the other stuff that's going on, and so we're down a little bit, but our numbers for our selection process did not go down.
Right.
But
It's just the
Yeah.
ones who were finally able to
right,
to
and it's
attend.
just, you know, this has just been a tough year.
It has been in many ways, and you know, I keep telling students, and I keep, you know, it's like, look, just step back, take a deep
Yes.
breath. We're gonna do it.
It's gonna get better.
It's gonna get better. We're gonna be fine. Now, to get into your program, to get into the medical technology program, what are the prereqs?
We technically don't have any prereqs.
Okay.
But that being said, we are a competitive-based program.
Okay.
So just because we are lucky enough to say we don't have prereqs, that's going to put you at a disadvantage
All
for,
right.
for admissions. But we look strongly or very heavily for our admissions on those math and science courses,
Okay.
because as a medical profession, you need that as your backbone. You need to have a good understanding of math
So
and science.
if someone really wants in your program and
Yes.
they're just out of high school, and they have a really
Yes.
good background in math and science in
Yes.
high school, you're going to look strongly at them.
Yes,
And possibly
yes.
you also look at ACT. I was about to say ACT
yes.
scores.
That ACT score, particularly if you're coming to us straight out of high school,
Okay.
that ACT score is going to tell us a lot, because it lets us know, are you going to be able to handle not only the MLT courses, but your general education? Because if you're coming straight out of high school and you haven't taken any general education, that's worked into our curriculum, and so
Okay.
they're going to have to do that too. So you're going to have to be a stronger student. That's a lot of courses to have to take. We are really lucky now because of all the dual credit options that are
Yes,
out there.
yes.
So
That was not available when I was
Yes,
going through
yeah.
high school.
Tell me about it. I wish it had been.
I know,
I've told
I
my
know.
students before, I said, y'all just don't know. I mean, I said, you do know how I am. I said, I think you could probably see it in me. I would have basically been through with community college before I was done with high school. I really
Me
would
too.
have,
I
because
would have too.
that would have just been my cup of tea. But
Definitely.
anyway, now that they have those options, the students that are coming to us out of high school are more qualified. So we have 2 right now that are currently in our first year class that came to us straight out of high school, and they had nearly as many courses taken as some of the students who have been, here on this campus for 2 years or a year or whatever already. So they came in competitive because of those dual credit options. So that is really helping out with our programs, because you are able, as a student, to get in at an younger age.
Sure.
You have some of those general education courses out of the way, so it's not as much of a burden. Once you're in the program, you're able to focus more on our courses, which is, a key for that. We need for you to be able to focus on the lab aspects and what you're going to be doing in your career, because granted, those general education courses are necessary, but if you can focus with us, you're going to have an easier go with it as we move through, because we're a comprehensive program.
Well, now, what type of general ed classes, you said they're woven into your curriculum? What type of, are we talking
you have
about?
things like public speaking, English Comp 1. We don't have to have English Comp 2, but if you want to get your bachelor's someday, we suggest you go ahead and get that. You have to have either intermediate algebra, but we would prefer college algebra, because that it helps you more.
Okay.
And if you're going to go get that bachelor's, you got to have college algebra. So, as far as our sciences go, you have a couple of options.
Okay.
You can either have A&P 1, or you can go with biology 1, and we did not used to allow biology, but that was a change with the curriculum a couple of years ago. So now we can incorporate biology into it if you've taken that. So that has also opened up the doors a little bit for some students. But you do have to have a behavioral science. You have to have a humanities. Basically, those things that are also going to get you prepared. Like if you were planning to get just an AA degree, but you have to have those for us too, along with our courses to get the Associate of Applied Science degree.
Now, as with all of our programs, our medical programs, do you have to maintain at least an 80 average? Am I correct?
Well, in our MLT courses, you have to have a C or better, and a C for us is an 80. You have to maintain a 2.0 GPA. If you drop below a 2.0, we have to remove you from the program. That's just not something that we're allowed to keep you. If you make below an 80 in any one MLT course, then you are also going to be removed from the program.
But I'm sure I know that you work with students as much as you possibly can to try to keep
we don't
them.
have classes on Fridays until they get to clinicals. And so we're here, we're available on Fridays, we're available after class, we're available before class. If class starts at 8, both of us are usually here 6:30, 7 in the morning.
Okay.
So they have all kinds of options that are available to them. We use Canvas for all our material. We review constantly.
I knew y'all did.
Yeah, so those availability of getting that material, learning it, and having us help you is always there.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, listen, thank you so much
you're
for being
very
with us
welcome.
today, and I really appreciate it. We'll talk to you again soon.
Thank you.
We'll be right back.
With so much uncertainty in our world, we are thankful for the heart and determination of those who have followed their calling in healthcare. They work tirelessly on the front lines every day to make a true difference in our community. At Meridian Community College, we take pride in training these heroes and are grateful for their service in this time of great need. These eagles found their wings at Meridian Community College.
And we have the wonderful Miss Valerie Bishop. Hello, Miss Bishop. How are you doing today?
I'm fine. How are you?
We're here.
True.
No, I'm doing really well.
Good.
You are the Associate Dean for Institutional Effectiveness.
Yes.
But today we're not talking about institutional effectiveness. You are here to talk about something else that is really exciting. Which is?
I'm here today to talk about a program called Ncats.
Okay.
And Ncats stands for the NASA Community College Aerospace Scholars Program.
Okay.
And Ncats is a program that's available only to community college students. Last October 2019, MCC was part of a pilot program for Ncats on campus. So there were 6 community colleges across the nation that participated in the pilot program. And starting in 2021, we will be one of 11 community colleges across the nation that will have an Ncats program.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
And what exactly is the Ncats program? What kind of things do
Well,
they
we
do,
have
or you do?
2 parts to the Ncats program. There is an online class.
Okay.
It's 5 weeks. They cover various topics related to NASA. They learn a little bit about NASA history, NASA philosophy, some of the big projects that NASA is working on, especially like right now, NASA is in the midst of the Artemis project, taking people to the moon, named for the goddess Artemis.
Yes.
So the first woman going to the moon. I'm sure there'll be some guys on their trip also, but at least the first woman going to the moon. So that's Artemis project is on target, maybe. I'm not sure what the latest
let's
is.
hope.
Yeah, hopefully, to get people back to the moon by 2024. It's a big announcement
Wow.
this week about the moon, and they found water
Yes,
on
yes.
the sunny side
Quite a
of
lot.
the moon.
I mean,
quite a lot.
more water than they thought
right,
would
right.
be up there.
But the ultimate goal for NASA is to get to Mars.
Okay.
Or at least one of their ultimate goals is to get to Mars. So the Artemis project, moving people to the moon, then using the moon like a staging area to further travel to Mars and back.
Would you go to the moon if you had the opportunity?
Oh, I don't know. I think, sure, why not?
You know,
If it's a free, I'll go. Yeah.
In a heartbeat, I would
Exactly.
head out.
Exactly.
In a heartbeat. I'm such a science geek and science fiction geek. Why is it so important that we have things like the NCAS? Why do we need this?
Well, this program especially is really good at getting students involved in a project that is a project that requires a lot of teamwork. It gives them the idea of how a real-world situation might take place if you really were a company trying to bid for a NASA contract.
Okay.
So we have the 2 parts
Sure.
to the program. We talked a little bit about the online portion, but the really fun part is the face-to-face portion, the on-campus event, which we hope to be able to have that program, that event in May
let's
of
hope.
2021
Okay.
here on our MCC campus. That is definitely our goal, is to have the program here on the campus. Students will be part of a company. They would be pretending that they were actually bidding for a NASA contract to do certain tasks on Mars. So to complete those tasks, they build a rover.
Okay.
But you don't have to necessarily be all that computer savvy to be part of any of these teams.
Thank goodness.
Because not only do you need the engineers and the
Right.
programmers for any project that you have for NASA, but you need people who can do accounting, people who are really good at logistics and keep up with all these little pieces that we use to build the rovers. They use a Lego EV3 rover, and they program it to do certain tasks like retrieve rocks or identify minerals on a course that we have set up. We typically have 4 teams. The 4 teams build their rover, create their project, and then they compete with each other and then see who actually wins the NASA contract.
That's just too neat.
It is.
So if anyone is interested in this, what do they need to do?
Well, one of the things they need to know is that the deadline is coming up for this.
Right, okay.
The deadline, and this is a NASA deadline, it's not an MCC deadline, it's a hard and fast NASA deadline, and that deadline is November the 18th to
Okay.
register.
Okay.
We have a spot on our MCC website. They can go to meridiancc.edu/Ncats, N-C-A-S,
Okay.
and they will find lots of information there about the program and how they would actually register for the program. The program is open to any community college student. They don't necessarily have to be an MCC student. They could be at one of the area community colleges, and they can still apply. They must be a high school graduate. They must be enrolled in community college,
Okay.
and They can be a part-time student. They don't have to be a full-time student. They could be a part-time student enrolled at the community college. They have to have completed or be in the process of completing 9 STEM hours. Okay. So typically when we think of STEM hours, we're thinking of math and science, but STEM hours include things like any of the programming classes that we might have here, industrial maintenance. We have lots of different classes. Sure. 3D CAD. Oh my. So we have students who may not necessarily think of themselves as traditional STEM students, but they have tons of STEM skills, and we're very interested in having students all across the spectrum.
Do we have a certain number of students that we're limited to?
We would like to have around 40 students all together. Okay. We will take as many students as we can get for
as
this
always.
Particular program. As always, we will do our very best anyway to find a place for everyone.
And if nothing else, it's NASA.
And it's NASA.
It's NASA.
It is. I always tell the students, even if you're not crazy about NASA, I think this program will definitely help make you bring out your inner geek and just love NASA even more. Okay. But for those of us who are a little older, we maybe lived through like the space shuttle age and watching rockets go up on a regular basis, then we see NASA, if we see it on a resume or something, we're going to be like, oh, tell me about that.
Yes.
And so it looks great on a resume, it looks good on lots of different kinds of applications that students might be making. Okay. Might give them a little bit of a leg up on some other students.
So they need to register by November 18th.
November 18th.
And they can do so by going to meridiancc.edu/Ncats. NCAS. Thank you so much for being here today.
Sure, thank you.
We'll be right back.
All right, so you're looking to make a career decision that's crazy smart and won't break the bank. Then let's start with tuition guarantee and a home field advantage. That's Meridian Community College, and we're changing the game. We've got heavy metal drilling and saving lives. Or how about building a rover that could drive on Mars? We're more than grades in a classroom. We're your Red Bull monster shot of knowledge that will help you own that next job. This is not just the 13th year, it's the gateway to your entire career. Are you ready for more? Well, the eagle has landed. Find your wings.
Become essential at Meridian Community College. Our community is changing, and at MCC, we are built for those who want to serve. Being essential has kept our community going. You can become that here, all at an affordable cost. Whether you dream of helping people through healthcare services or want to transport goods, connecting people with the products they need, we have many unique opportunities to help you find your purpose. Don't wait for change. Be the difference and register today. Become essential at Meridian Community College.
On behalf of executive producer Matt Milner, media consultant Josh Taylor, and our student producers Jabrisha Rush and Kaya Dodd, thank you for watching. We hope you learned something.